Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Sally Nugent and Ben Thompson.
Our headlines today.
To today's main stories. Morning.
Thank you, Ben. And in the next hour, we will get the latest inflation figures from the Office for National Statistics. It tells us how much the price of goods and services went up or down in January. The rate for December unexpectedly reached 4%, following a steady drop. Esith Carr has been speaking to business owners in Warrington about the effects of high inflation. A leading UN humanitarian official has warned that an Israeli military assault in the southern Gazan city of Rafah, where over 1 million Palestinians are residing, could lead to slaughter. Our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher is in Jerusalem for us. Morning, Barbara. What's the latest that you can tell us? The UK's fertility regulator is investigating after an NHS clinic took months to tell more than 100 women that their frozen eggs and embryos could have been damaged. And here's a full list of candidates. Now, it is almost 5 years since the spire on the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris collapsed during that devastating fire. And since then, the cathedral has been covered in scaffolding as the restoration takes place. Now, some of the spire is finally visible to the public again, as Hugh Schofield reports from Paris. I can't believe it's 5 years since that happened.
Astonishing to see it back, though, isn't it? The amount of work that has got into it just to get it to that stage. The time just approaching 14 minutes past 6. Let's check in with Carol, and she's got a...
And this is something we will be talking more about later on in the programme this morning.
Now, let's have a look at the front of today's newspaper. It is Valentine's Day. You may have noticed it is the 14th of February, so the papers are full of news on it today about the science of it. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff as well, but the science of why we feel attraction.
Yeah, we found this in the Telegraph this morning, and I think they're making it a bit too scientific, Ben. I think they're ruining the magic. But what happens to you when you fall in love with a person?
Oh, go on.
So, when you touch the person that you love, pain can be reduced. There's actually chemicals in your body that reduce any type of pain.
Right.
It can act as a pain reliever. I think this one's obvious. Your heart goes a bit quicker. Your heart starts racing when you catch sight of your beloved, thanks to adrenaline.
But is it one specific person?
Yes.
It's not just attraction in general?
No. Well, I don't know, Ben. But yeah, I would imagine it's that one specific special person.
Okay.
And here's my very favourite. My favourite symptom of being in love. I'm joking. Sweaty palms. Ooh.
No,
not loving that. When we fall in love, we experience
clammy.
various physical reactions, including sweaty palms. Oh, and butterflies in your tummy as well.
Butterflies is all right.
Yeah, butterflies. We can go with that.
Oh, well, if you're feeling none of those things this Valentine's Day, let me tell you about some good TV news.
You can also love your friends, your colleagues, your pets.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Ben, and to you too.
There's a lot of love going on in South Wales as well, because apparently Gavin and Stacey is due back on our screens pretty soon. But there could be a big bidding war between the BBC and Netflix. So the Sun reporting this morning that Netflix wants to get its hands on Gavin and Stacey for a new Christmas special. Now, of course, made its name on BBC Three, then was on BBC One. So watch this space. There could be Gavin and Stacey returning to screens of some shape or form.
I do love that. It never really goes away. I know it stops and then...
They just pick up.
It comes back, like all the best television.
Including Downton Abbey as well. On the other side, Downton Abbey apparently back in filming for a new surprise comeback for what will be a 7th series.
A series, so not a film this time?
Yeah, well, because they did a couple of films, didn't they? But I didn't realise it was only on ITV until 2015.
Wow.
But a bit like Bagpuss we were talking about earlier, it just feels like there's hundreds of episodes.
I think you can still find it running on an ITV channel somewhere.
Somewhere in the world, Downton is probably running. But, yeah, it's back for a 7th season, apparently.
Classics never go away, do they?
No.
You're watching Breakfast. It is 22 minutes past 6. Now, to an issue we have spoken about before here on Breakfast, shop worker abuse and theft. New figures from the British Retail Consortium show that the number of violent attacks against UK shop workers rose by 50% just last year.
It comes as some charity shops in Wales say they've been forced to remove changing rooms from their stores because of the rise in people stealing stuff. Our reporter, Will Fife, has more.
Shocking pictures there.
Yeah, it's infuriating, isn't it, that in some cases people feel that they're able to do it with impunity, but we've been talking a lot on this programme as well about, the measures that shops are trying to take, but it puts a lot of pressure on those shop staff themselves to try and enforce it.
It can make their job incredibly unpleasant.
Yeah.
Still to come here on Breakfast this morning. Plenty more coming up here on the programme, but now it's time to get the news, the travel and the weather where you're waking up this morning.